So, on to our first presenter, Daryl Anselmo. Daryl is an artist, art director, creative, executive, and entrepreneur living here in Coquitlam. He was art director and co-creator of the critically acclaimed and commercially successful NBA Street and Def Jam franchises for electronic arts. He was also co-founder of Propaganda Games for Disney Interactive Studios. Daryl most recently served as Director of Art for the Walt Disney Company and is currently taking a brief hiatus from the industry while exploring new opportunities. We're happy to start off with you, Daryl. Come on up.
Hi.
Hola.
I guess these just roll. Hi, I'm Daryl, and this is here is my life on a slide. I was born here in BC, and I loved to play hockey as a kid. And I'm not afraid to admit that I've been a nerd for most of my life, except for a gap there in my 20s when I met my wonderful wife and had 2 great kids, and I've got another one on the way actually. But as you can see, I've just got to keep it real, so it's a lot easier that way. I've done a lot of drawing and I've done a lot of painting. I recently picked that up a little. I've been hooked on computers ever since my parents got me my first Commodore, and I turned that into a career. I spent 10 years in electronic arts as an artist and art director, and most recently I spent 6 years as a director of art for the Walt Disney Company. But I'm not here to talk about art, I'm actually here to talk about the one theme that's constant through my whole life, and that's games. And more specifically, I'd like to talk about the power and importance of games in society, because I still think that it's a largely misunderstood topic. The experience of playing games is an important part of the human experience, and is present in every culture dating back thousands of years. Animals use the play experience to sharpen their survival skills, strengthen social bonds, and reduce stress. And today we play most of our games digitally, and the numbers are quite alarming. 4 million hours every day are disappearing into Angry Birds. You may remember when Google changed its logo to Pac-Man, over 4.8 million hours were lost to lost productivity that day. And since its launch in 2004, over 50 billion hours have been spent in World of Warcraft. And those are just a few of the numbers. All told, we spend over 3 billion hours every week playing games. And that's a significant number because it works out to about 340,000 man-years, which research suggests is roughly the amount of labor that was required to build the Great Pyramid of Giza. And so with all this civilization that's currently disappearing into games, it makes you think, are games just a colossal waste of time? But if you consider that the bulk of human intelligence is pattern recognition, and that play is how we principally learn and primarily create, that people shape their real identities and learn real skills through playing games, and then you replace the word gaming with learning, well then suddenly things seem at least a little bit more acceptable. This is a screenshot of World of Warcraft, which is a massively multiplayer online virtual world with over 11 million subscribers who log in on average 2 hours every day to improve the skills and level up the abilities of their fantasy avatars. And it's an intimidating interface at first, but don't be fooled. This is one of the most effective collaboration platforms that's ever been devised. Defeating bosses and performing raids requires a cooperative effort from 50 or more people, all playing very specific roles that are led and coordinated by a designated guildmaster. And as players solve problems in the game space, they're practicing teamwork, roleplay, diplomacy, exploring individuality, doing complex statistical analysis, and learning tangible leadership skills. And the instruments here may be made of plastic, but studies show that people are more likely to pick up an instrument in real life after playing games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band. The drums, for instance, have real drumsticks, pressure-sensitive pads, and foot pedals that offer a reasonable approximation of real drumming. And aspiring musicians practice timing, rhythm, limb dependence, they grow musically, and gain a genuine confidence with performing. And Rock Band, like all games, is a model of reality, and a model of reality that allows us to simulate, experiment, and play. And more importantly, it gives us an opportunity to fail. And it gives us an opportunity to fail spectacularly and fail safely with no real consequences. And so playing games is like practice for real life. And all games are puzzles. They have a series of challenges. Even simple games like Pac-Man teach us things. And by visiting every location on the map while avoiding ghosts, we're learning spatial relationships and assessing risk, managing resources, examining all angles of a given problem, handling pressure, and we're even practicing basic survival skills. This is a series of portraits by photographer Phil Toledano called Gamers. And I really like it because it clearly shows the emotional satisfaction that comes as we solve a problem, master a pattern, or learn a new skill. And since games teach, Good game designers are like educators and the best designed game curriculum that taps into human psychology to create optimal learning conditions. And this is the concept of flow, which is the euphorical emotional state that you experience when you're deeply motivated and blissfully focused on the task at hand. So athletes call this being in the zone. And this is when we feel our best. It feels like time is slowing down and we tend to forget everything else around us. And flow only occurs when the challenges that we face are matched to our skills. And so if the challenges are too high, we'll exit flow and we'll start to experience anxiety. But if they're too easy, then we'll lose interest and we'll get bored. And what good games do is they actually design a flow experience by attempting to perfectly match the difficulty to the learning curve of the player. Which is something that I don't personally think that school is well structured to do. And like life, I actually see school as a game. It has goals, it has rules, it has a series of challenges, it has a scoring system, it has feedback, it has leaderboards. But it's just not a very well-designed flow experience for our children, who I believe are currently learning far better leadership from playing Halo and playing World of Warcraft. So I'm going to end with a few examples of how game design is being used to make the world better. And this first one here is a bottle bank arcade that's in Stockholm, Sweden, and it's designed to encourage glass recycling. And it actually drew crowds of people who lined up and earned bonus points by correctly entering their glass bottles into slots that would light up. This here is a photo from the dashboard of the Ford Fusion Hybrid, and it's an all digital screen. It's got a standard speedometer and a gas gauge. But over on the right, it's got these leaves, and they grow and they grow and they grow the more efficiently that you're driving. But if you were to accelerate aggressively, what happens is those leaves start to disappear. And so it's a subtle reminder, it's a game that's telling us to ease off on the gas. And Nissan actually took it a step further with car wings that tracks all of your eco-driving habits, and it puts them on leaderboards, pitting you against other drivers in your area. And so it makes your driving experience a competition to win the Eco Platinum Cup, while you're saving on gas and generally helping out the environment at the same time. But this one here is my personal favorite. This is a speed camera lottery that's also in Stockholm. And it takes photographs of speeders who pay small fines that build up to a jackpot. But if you're obeying the law, your picture will also get taken, but you'll be entered into a lottery, and you'll have a chance at winning back some of that money from those speeders. So it reduced speed by over 23% from a standard speed camera. So just to wrap up, I believe games are powerful tools that can help us make the world better. I believe they have the power to help reform education, industry, science, and medicine. I believe they're every bit as deserving of funding and academic study as film, music, art, and sport. They make us happier, smarter people, and I hope that you'll never stop learning. I hope that you learned something tonight, and that you'll take the time to play more games with me too. Thank you.